All right, guys, so first rounds of upgrades for the Axial Capra 118 scale is going to be to deep dive into these shocks, look to see if the drag brake is adjustable, and swapping out the servo with our new 299 LP. Like I said in the last video, I think the stock servo is great for a lot of you. I think it's going to hold up over time. However, I already bought the 299 LP. I like Reefs RC servos, and I have it, so I'm going to throw it in. Let's go through an install. All right, guys, so I got the stock shock shaft and piston out. As you can see here, it's not your traditional shock piston, as in the fact that it has piston holes. It actually allows the oil to flow on the outside of the piston with little indents cut in here. So I could go through and cut a little V-sotch in each side of these, and that would allow a lot more oil to flow through, make it feel a lot livelier. However, we have brand new shocks, friction shocks right here. Okay, so we got the 299 installed up front and our brand new friction shocks installed. That was a super easy, quick install. Shouldn't take you more than a couple minutes. But since that install, I've kind of delayed on finishing this video because I had a bunch of stuff coming, and now we're going a completely different route with this rig. So we picked up the Trill brass portal boxes. We also picked up their steering links with the tie rod and their servo mount. So that now will add a lot of forward weight bias. It'll also help tighten up the servo for the new Reefs RC Raw 400. So he just dropped this week. We're gonna go ahead and put this in our truck. We're talking about 460 ounces of torque at 8.4 volts. Obviously much stronger than the 299, but we're still gonna run the 299 in this truck because we're gonna put it on the rear axle. So I went over to Axial and picked up their whole front axle kit. This is everything you need to just drop it in the back of this truck. I figured we're already replacing the motor in ESC, which requires us to get a new RX to hook it up to our DX5 Pro. With that, might as well go rear steer, right? We are going to be swapping the stock tires for the Proline 155 Class 0 Super Swampers on these awesome looking Trill wheels. So that's going to be our current wheel and tire setup for now. I have another option coming, but it's on back order. So let's get this install underway. All right, guys, I just wanted to take a quick minute and discuss everything we've done to this point. So we went ahead and installed our Reefs RC Raw 400 up front, along with all of the Trio goodies. So we have the servo mount, the portal boxes, and the steering links. We got the Holmes 380 2000 kV revolver in there. We hooked up and programmed our ESC and our Castle BEC to that. We're running 8.4 volts to both servos. We got the rear axle all set up and ran. And what I actually did was, for the rear axle, you have a couple choices of programming options. So you can either set this up with mixing where it runs off of the front, and you can kind of see they both go together, or you can set it to an actual channel, and then that will allow you to send it like 0, 50, 100, back to 0, 50, 100 clicks. What I ended up doing is there is the pot knob on the DX5 Pro. So what I did was I sent it to that. So this will allow me to make fine-tune adjustments as I need. My thought process is here is as I'm going up, if I need it to do something, I can just kind of negotiate it right about there and then continue to have all the wiggle room I need in the front end. And hopefully that's just gonna drag this way while pushing the front end down. There's a thing on Thingsverse, link in the comments below, where you can turn that knob into an actual kind of thumb control. So my goal is to be able to drive and thumb control with the rear. If I get on the rocks and I hate it, obviously I'll make an update to let you guys know how I programmed it from there. But this is where we're at this point. We also printed this nifty battery box. It lowers it down pretty significantly and also allows you to put a bigger battery in there. So that's on Thingiverse. That will be in the comments as well. So now my goal is to take all of this wire, get this all buttoned up and put into the truck, put the cage back on, get our new wheels on, and then get this thing out in the rocks. So let's see what happens. All right, quick recap in case you skipped along to this point. All of our stuff is done. The truck is ready to go. We did a lot of upgrades to this truck. We put the Reefs RC Raw 400 LP up front. We added rear steer and we're using the 299 LP in the rear. We added a couple goodies from Trio. We did their servo mount, their steering links, their portal box covers, and these great looking heavy wheels. We added 155 Super Swamper Class Zeros from Proline. We added in the Holmes Revolver 380 2000 kV motor and Friction RC shocks. We also 3D printed a battery tray, but this is allowing us to have full independent control front and rear. I'm very excited to get this thing on the rocks and kind of see what we're able to do with these new upgrades. So let's get out there, let's get a trail run in and see how it goes. So last time we got to this section, we had to come up over this way to make it a little easier on ourselves. Let's see how this does with its upgrades. And right up it. All right, this line last time gave me a ton of problems. Let's see if I can get it this time. Didn't even need four-wheel steer, walked right up it. I would say that's a win for the upgrades we did. All right guys, that's a wrap. Sun's going down, I'm running out of time. Capra did great. I'm very impressed with how it did with all of the new upgrades. If you're going four-wheel steer, I would highly recommend either doing overdrive up front or underdrive in the rear. The rear end tends to push a little bit in this setup. I think I'm gonna go heavier shock fluid, but other than that, this thing kicked butt.